Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you for joining us this week. We've had a lot going on, a lot of great information, a lot of changes have happened over this past week.
And that's the thing. It's a fluid thing, and so one day the school's out a certain period of time. Just yesterday in West Virginia, Governor Justice has asked the tax department to extend the deadline for taxes from April the 15th until July 15th to match the federal, and then also just announced that earlier this week that April 20th is when school will be back in session. And again, that could change. And so that's why it's important every day. You might know, oh, what's the governor going to say? It's important to watch those updates to see what changes might happen. And on the People First of West Virginia Facebook page, there's links. And then also on peoplefirstwv.org, which is our web page, we have a list of links.
Exactly, and we're trying to keep you updated with as much information as possible, but you can also give us a call at any time if there's anything that we can help you with. Most of our staff is working from home, and but their calls are being forwarded.
Yes.
And Doug and I also forward our calls when we're not here. So we just ask that if there's anything we can do to help you, give us a call. Remember, your United Way in your area is probably the best resource for you because they keep track of everything in the whole community.
And the best way to call them any place statewide is 211. They run the 211 system. And so just to quickly run down, not every detail, but some of the things on links that you can find on the peoplefirstwv.org website is a place to the governor and his stay-at-home order, which changes, and then the U.S. Center for Disease Control about protecting yourself and the number of cases if you want to keep up with that watching every day.
Exactly, which we don't recommend watching too much, just enough to get the information you need. We also have the West Virginia Department of Education. Of course, we mentioned 211, the Department of Health and Human Resources, and also we know that the Social Security office is closed, but you can receive online services, and that's important for people to know that they still have access to that.
And speaking of offices closed but still access, in Wood County, the county commission and several of the cities have closed their city buildings to the public. If you have something super important, you can call them and make an appointment, but many of the things are available online. So wherever you are in West Virginia, because we know that's the intent, is for this to go out. Before you jump in your vehicle or get on the city bus if it's still running and run downtown for that, call. They may be able to handle that over the phone, or it's something that can wait. They may have postponed a deadline to make it more convenient. So make sure you call first, and that will eliminate an unnecessary trip. You wouldn't want to get all the way down there and then find out there's a sign on the door that says, nobody is in the office, please call for an appointment. So I know they've done that in Wood County, and I'm sure they're doing that all over the state.
Probably most of the counties, and the reason for that is to keep everybody healthy and safety. So once again, just a reminder, if you don't have to go out, don't do it.
That's
Stay
right.
home.
And that is exactly why we're in this particular building. Well, you two are still there. I'm on the first level downstairs, and just for the few minutes we're doing this, Liz has an office upstairs in a completely separate part of the building, and then we come down and do this brief segment after we've washed our hands and stay apart, and then we go back separate. So we're not working next to each other every day. We're practicing what is being said. Also, one of the other extended things that they've done is the election. And so in West Virginia, you can go to the Secretary of State's website. That link is on the front for voter information, absentee balloting. And then I'm very glad you put this on. We also have a list of if you are having some personal issues. This is very stressful for people. And so if you're having a difficult time, we've got a lot of links on the website for personal assistance.
So help for West Virginia, National Suicide Prevention Line, and then some prevention lines or crisis lines specific to certain areas. So they are on the screen now. We also want to take a moment before we move on to today's information to talk and thank people that have been with us previously. So Shauna Hyde, Keeping Your Mental Health Healthy, Pamela Santer, mindfulness, a great interview with our friend Jonathan Bird on his dramatic lifestyle change, and some great information to share with people. It's tough being home for an extended period, and so it's good to have little reminders of things that we can do to keep ourselves healthy.
Yes, we also earlier in the week had Sharon Anderson from Williamstown Bank talking about banking safety, and I know a lot of people have stopped carrying cash as much because you don't think about that, whether it's this virus or anything. Carrying cash is very it's not the cleanest thing.
Exactly.
So be careful with that. And then yesterday you did a great interview with Brandon Gresh from the Wood County Society about things that you can do, upcycling things to make artwork in your home.
Exactly. Brandon is a great community partner. We're fortunate enough to work with Wood County Society, and it was great to remember that there are things at home that we can use and repurpose, as you said, and make them beautiful works of art that are fun to look at and fun to make.
We didn't want to come on and be super serious every day. That's the whole, because I know this, you can, if you want to do that, you can go watch the network news all day long, and that can be very depressing if you constantly look at the statistics. So we have a really great treat for you today.
Exactly. But before we get to that, I want to make sure we don't leave out Kat Bigley, who did a great job for yoga, which is good for both your mental and your physical health. So thank you, Kat. And I don't think we mentioned Ellie Yater again.
Oh, no,
we have
Ellie Yater.
Beautiful, beautiful voice, and very kind of her to take the time to send her song over to us. And once again, before we talk about today, Doug has very kindly provided links to each of these things so that you can check them out and utilize them whenever you want to.
Those are also on the website because, like Kat Bigley, it does live stuff all the time. So if you enjoyed the one that was earlier this week, she's actually posted a link on her Facebook page about Yoga 101. This is a good time. If I was home, I'd have time to start, being healthy or walking by yourself outside, maybe, do those things that you never thought you'd have time to do. Now you have time to do those things. So that's a good time by video to do that. And it's also a good time. You said one of the things that you'd like to do is listen to music to keep kind of relaxed.
I do.
So we're going to get to do that today.
Exactly, and what a great treat we have. Connor Nesselrode, beautiful voice, great talent on the acoustic guitar. I was enjoying it, and then we got to one particular song that is one of my favorites, and then followed up by a classic rock song, which I like. Ooh. So I won't spoil it for you and tell you what they are, but what a great talent, and what a great way to relax. Yes. Music is soothing, and boy, what a great job Connor does.
And if you want to share one of those with us, if you have a video, if you paint or do something like that, maybe you're, what's the guy that used to do the pretty little trees and flowers and stuff that used to
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, if you do some home painting and want to share with us one of your own how you paint or whatever you're doing, maybe you do some type of easy craft or jewelry making, whatever, and you do a little online video, let us know. We can post the link. We want people to find things to do, to be lighthearted and not sit around, just sitting around because there's nothing to. And also because I know lots of people are on Netflix.
Right, binging, yeah.
Binging. They're maybe slowing down. So.
Yeah, give your eyes a break from Netflix, listen to some music, and maybe do some artwork while you listen.
That's right. All right, so here we go with Mr. Nesselrode. Thank you very much, and you all have a great day.
Enjoy.
Hey y'all, I'm Connor Nesselrode. I'm going to sing a couple songs for you today on behalf of the Arc of Mid-Ohio Valley, so thank you to them for having me. I hope everybody's staying safe at home, and we appreciate you staying home and staying healthy. So all these songs are dedicated to everybody out there, just powering along in these difficult times. We're going to get through it, okay? This first one here is called Sweet Creature. I hope you like it. Sweet creature, I know they talk about what's been going wrong. We're still young, we don't know where we're going, but we know we belong. I know we started, two hearts, one home. Gets hard when we argue, we both stubborn, I know. But oh, sweet creature, wherever I go, you bring me home. Sweet creature, when I run out of road, you bring me home. Sweet creature, running through the garden, oh, but nothing bothering us. We're still young. When I think about you, I think we don't speak enough. I know that we started just to us, one home. It gets hard when we argue, we're both stubborn, I know. But oh, sweet creature, wherever I go, you bring me home. Sweet creature, when I run out of road, you bring me home. I know that we started just two hearts, one home. It gets hard when we argue, we're both stubborn, I know. But oh, sweet creature, wherever I go, you bring me home. Sweet creature, when I run out of road, you bring me home. This next one here, guys, is called Where the Skies Are Blue. It's something I believe we all kind of need right now. It's by the Lumineers, so I hope you guys follow along and like this one as well. You're gonna leave, it ain't gonna break my heart. Well, I've never seen nobody quite like you. Well, if you ever change your tune, oh, the world's got the best of you. You can always find a way, the skies are blue. Wanting to change, turn into what you love. And I would have gave all of my best to you. So if you ever change your fool, who will give you a love so true? You can always find me where the skies are blue. Lay your dreams, little darling, in a flower bed. Let that sunshine in your hair, in your
and you're looking for something new, you can always find me where the skies are blue. You can always find me where the skies are blue. Alright guys, I'll take a quick sip of water here. I'm gonna switch it over to the piano for you, and I'm gonna play a song called Hallelujah. I'm sure most of you guys know it, so if you're at home, sing along, okay? I've heard the words a secret chord, didn't play it to please the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? Like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, and the Bible King composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Strong, but you need proof. I saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she brought your throne, and she cut your hair, and from the lamp she drew your hallelujah, hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before, I know this room, and I've walked these floors. I used to live alone before I knew you. Seen you fly in the marvelous, love is not a victory march, it's cold and it's a broken hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Baby, there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love was how to choose somebody who I drew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night, it's not somebody who has seen a light. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Been turned right in faces so long now, doing your hard work, but I know that you got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow. Don't you think get cold in the wintertime? start to tell the night time from the day. Losing all your highs and lows, ain't it funny how the feeling goes away? Desperado, oh, you ain't getting no younger. Pain and your hunger driving you home. Freedom, oh freedom, that's just some people talking. Prisoners walking through this world all alone. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy, she'll beat you if she's able. The queen of hearts is always your best bet. It seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones you can't get. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences, open the gate. It may be raining, but you got a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you before it's too late.
This one's Not a Happy Man.
Baby, last night was hands down one of the best nights that I've had, no doubt. Between the bottle of wine and the look in your eye, often gay. And then we danced in the dark and looked at the stars in the pouring rain. And I know that I can't ever tell you enough. All I need in this life is your crazy love. If I never get to see the northern lights, or if I never get to see the Eiffel Tower at night, baby, for all I got was your in my hand, baby, I can die happy man, die happy man. Red dress brings you to my knees, oh, but that black dress makes it hard to breathe. You're a saint, you're a goddess, huge as the heart's masterpiece. It's too good to be true, nothing better than you in the wildest dreams. And I know that I can't ever tell you enough. All I need in this life is crazy love. If I never get to see the place. If I never get to build my mansion in Georgia, drive a sports car up the coast of California, oh, if all I got your hand in my hand, baby, I could die half a man, die half a man.
I'm gonna go back to guitar here. Sing you guys one last song. This one's called Skinny Love. It's most popular by I think Birdie, but I do the Ed Sheeran cover, so hope you guys like it.
Whoa. Oh, oh, Come on, skin love without end here. Pour a little song you never hear. Mama, 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 mama. Staring at this single blood and grasping you. I tell my love to wreck it all, cut down all the ropes and let me fall. Mama, 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 mama. Right in the moment, this would stop. And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be kind, and I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be fine. 'Cause in the morning I'll be with you, but it'll be a different time. 'Cause now I'm breaking out the bridges, and you'll be owing all the fines. Come on, skinny love, just last year. Circle on the hope and light right here. My, 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 my. So then, Lord, is full so slow on the spin. And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be kind, and I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be fine. But now all your love is wasted. Well, who the hell was I? 'Cause now we're breaking out the bridges, and at the end of all your lines. Who will love you? Who will find? Who will fall far behind? Who will love you? Who will find? Who will fall far behind?
Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed it. I made a couple mistakes here and there, but nothing that you guys can't have a little laugh at while you're enjoying it. So hope you guys all enjoyed it, and just stay safe and remember to wash your hands out there. All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, what a beautiful job Connor did for us. Thank you so much. And once again, we'll have this link so that you could listen to this anytime. I know I will be listening to it over and over again because I really enjoyed it. So thank you to Connor. Doug, do you want to quickly go over our resources one more time since
Yes.
we're heading into the weekend?
So this weekend, if you're getting a little bit concerned or you're not feeling well, you've made it all week, but it's starting to drag on you, you can always call Help for West Virginia That is help, the number 4, WV. That's a 24-hour helpline, and the number is on the list here. We've put the whole list, and this is from the People First, WV.org website, so you don't have to look through it for a whole bunch of numbers. And then there's the National Suicide Prevention Line. Also, there's different places you can call in your area. Like in this area, we have Westbrook Health Services. They have an 800 number, and then a local number. There's one in Clarksburg, Huntington, over in the Franklin Potomac Highland area. There's one in, and I think it said Clarksburg as well. And another thing, and I'd ask you, I'll have to ask because only one person in the household is supposed to do it, and I'll have to ask my wife, but one of the things you can also do while you're home is make sure you're counted by filling out your census form. We've talked about early voting, and they've extended the time to do absentee balloting, and the Secretary of State's website link is on our page, but there's also a place you can find out about the census. Now's the time to make sure that you're counted, because the Congress just voted on the stimulus package. There's an election going on this year, and one of the ways they determine how many representatives on the state level and the national level each state has is by the number of people. So make sure you fill out the census, make sure that you are counted, and we're counting on you to have a good weekend and join us back here on Monday.
Exactly. Everyone counts. Every voice should be heard, so
Yes.
Make sure you do the census. And I will tell you that we're super excited for Monday because we will have the Three Amigas on with us on Monday, and they are such a great force in our community and really make a difference. They were behind getting the waiver waiting list cleared and
Yes.
really led the way. So Tracy White, who's a great parent advocate, will be here with us. Christina Smith, who has her own advocacy agency,
right.
Astrive, and then Christy Black, who works with the West Virginia Developmental Disability Council. So we're going to talk to them about how they were able to lead such a great force to make the waiver waiting list an important issue in our community and in our state. And then, you know, what else can we do?
That's right.
We have a
Because
lot
the
of
work's
time.
not done. Oh, yes, we crossed the finish line, but this is, when you're doing advocacy, especially like that, it's almost like the NASCAR season. All right, you won this race. That's great. You got your points on the board. But we're not done yet. The season is still rolling. Now, what are we going to do next time? Now's the time to start thinking about talking to the lawmakers about what's going to happen next session. So we're going to find out how this was not an overnight thing, and it was a big fight that everyone was involved with, hopefully. Or if you missed out, now's the time to get involved in other things. We'll find out how that happened, and then how you can get involved in what happens needs to happen next coming up in the legislature. So
Exactly. We look forward to having that time to talk
Yes.
to those three wonderful women. And people are stuck at home now a little bit more than typical. So this is a great time to think about advocacy and what you can do.
find out who your lawmakers are, write those letters, because many times, and I'm guilty of it too, well, you know, if I had the time and if I was at home, I could. Now's the time to find out who your lawmakers are. Now's the time to write those letters. Now's the time to find out what legislation might need to be passed, build those relationships, and then by the time the next session gets here, then you'll be ready to go. You can't wait until the day before the session, or we all go down to Disability Advocacy Day one day a year and say, hi, you don't know who I am, but this is what I want you to vote on. By the time the session is started, there's already lots of bills that have already been written. So if the folks in Charleston have to get ready, then everyone else has to get ready by doing your homework ahead of time and starting that process.
Exactly. So thank you once again for joining us this week. We
Yes.
can't wait to talk to you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and remember the resources in your community.
All right. Thank you very much.
Just do a little mindful moment with everyone, something that they can come back to. So that's what I'm going to do right now. What I'd like everyone to do is very important breath, is taking those nice deep breaths, filling the lungs up completely with air. So what we're going to do is I just want you to gently, you can close your eyes if you're comfortable. If not, then just leave them, just kind of gaze down and take a nice deep breath. Fill those lungs full of air. And then what I want you to think about is as you inhale, I want you to think of pulling in the light and the love that's in the world today, because we do have it. And then as you exhale, I want you to release any type of anxiety or stress that you have. Just let it flow out of your body with that exhale. And then as you're breathing those nice deep breaths, I want you to focus on a light. It's just a little tiny light right now in front of you. But as you breathe, that light gets bigger. And as that light gets bigger, you feel the warmth of it. It starts filling your body with warmth and love. You feel it all the way down to your toes. And as this blankets you, this nice warmth, this feeling of warmth, what I want you to think is, may I be happy? May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. May I be at peace. And then just remember all that. Remember this light. I want you to really place it in your mind and be able to go back to this light. Feel this light filling you and covering you with safety and security, and you feel that love and the light that's in the world. And always remember, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease, may I be at peace. And this is what I wish for all my friends out there today. Peace begins with me.